Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome to my channel. My name is Jackie. And let's get started. For DIY number 1, I'm going to begin with one of these packs of bamboo rings from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to go in with some of the Waverly Antique Wax, give them a full coat. And now I'm going to go in with some of this cotton macrame twine from Crafter Square. And I'm going to start with a little dab of glue on the side of the larger ring. Add a little dab of glue and place some of this twine on there, this macrame twine. And I'm just going to start wrapping around the bottom portion, like a bottom half. And every now and then I'll add a little dab of glue to help keep everything secure in place. And as I get towards the bottom where it's hard to keep on there, I definitely need to use some glue. So every single time I go around, I'll have to add a little dab of glue. And as you see, there's like little gaps in between the macrame twine, but I'll remedy that in a minute. So I just keep going around. When I get to this point, to the very bottom where I really can't wrap it anymore, then I'll add one more dab of glue. And now I'll start wrapping it back up and hitting all the areas that I missed, all the little gaps. So I'm adding another dab of glue and just going around back to the starting point. So just add some glue and just go back up until we're back to where we started from, like this. And now I'll just take some of this macrame cotton twine, snip off a piece, and I'll create a hanger. And so I'll just place it on the very top and create the hanger like this. Okay, now I'm ready to start embellishing. So I'm going to take some of this green garland. It's new from the Dollar Tree. They have 4 different styles, but I really like this one. The only problem with it is that it tangles up very easily with itself. So yeah, it's a little bit of a challenge, but it's beautiful. So I just snip off enough for me to wrap around the ring of this piece and just going around, and whatever's left over, I'll go ahead and stick it inside in between the 2 layers of the twine, like this. So I just kind of tuck it in there. That way it looks like it's got some greenery coming out of the inside, and there's some on the outside. Now I'm taking some of these wood curl roses, and I'm just going to take 3. They come 4 in a pack. They're also new from Floral Garden, but I'm just going to take 3, and then I'll hold all 3 that I chose, and I'll add a nice glob of glue. That way they nicely secure on there, and just place it on there till it sets. And that's it. Looks super cute. Now for the second one, for the smaller one, I did the same thing, except for this one I'm taking a candle holder that I had, sticking a bead inside, add some glue, and placing the bottom of the ring on top of the candle holder. For this one, I'm going to embellish with a nice big bow and the last wood curl rose that I had. And here's how it looks, and a closer look at the final reveal. This video is a part of a Craft Your Stash collaboration, and is hosted by Liyana from Liyana DIY with her friends, Lisa Marie from Crafting My Best Life with Lisa Marie, Lisa from Lisa Birmingham, Lori from Lori Bly DIY, Emily from Farm Charm Chic, Jelena from Blondie Next Door, Jenny from Lovely Moments Creating, Amber from DIY with Amber, Maria from Artsy Cupcake, Daisy from Daisy DIY, and Tanya from All Things Tanya. And their guests for this month are Rhonda from the Distressed Princess DIY, and myself, Jackie from Crafting in Mimi's World. And there's a playlist to enjoy, so when you're done watching my video, please head on over to my description box and view the playlist, and it'll also be pinned in my comments. For DIY number 2, I'm going to use these 2 new vases from the Dollar Tree. They're made out of plastic, but they are so pretty, and this is going to be a very easy DIY. I'm also going to take 2 of these macrame, they're supposed to be a towel or tissue holder, like toilet tissue holder, but I'm simply going to just remove these wood dowels. I'm not going to need them, and I'm going to measure approximately how much of a length I'm going to need to go around these vases with a little extra, and I'm placing the macrame twine through the holes where the dowels were, and I'm just going to tie it with a nice secure knot in the center of these vases. And now I'm just going to add a little dab of glue on the ends of these twines, these macrame twines, to create a makeshift needle and thread these beads through the twine in this manner. And I do this to all 4 of the pieces of twine that are hanging down. Snip off the excess glue that's on the bottom till I get them to look like this. Now I'm just going to add a little bit of these rocks for a little bit of weight. And now I'm just going to add some of these olive branches from the Dollar Tree. They are new as well. Super cute. I do 2 branches for each vase. And yes, they are hanging. And here's how they look. And a closer look at the final reveal. If you're on Instagram, I invite you to come follow me on there. I do post regularly, stories, reels, and regular posts. And all you have to do is take this QR code and scan it with your cell phone camera, and it'll take you right to my profile. For DIY number 3, a sweet subscriber sent me these beautiful patriotic napkins, so I definitely wanted to use them. So I'm going to begin with one of these galvanized metal house forms and some of this Mod Podge, do a nice thin layer, allow it to dry. And now I'm going to begin with the cute little truck. Oh my goodness, this is so cute. So I'm going to take this down to 1 layer, to 1 ply, and I didn't want to cut it because I didn't want to waste any of it. So I'm just going to go ahead and use it like this, in this manner. I'm going to place this on top of my house form and place some parchment paper on top. And you can see my ceiling fan is on because it's just going everywhere. And with my mini easy press, I'm just going to activate all the Mod Podge and fuse this napkin onto the metal of this little house. So I just make sure just to go all the way around, remove the parchment paper, and so see, here it's nice and fused. I'll go in with my scissors and carefully snip off as close as I can without wasting too much of it. And now for the fun part, I'm going to take my lighter and light up the rest to remove it. Look at this, so quick, so easy, so satisfying. Love it. And now using my finger sander and an emery board, I just go around and remove any little excess pieces that might be hanging on there, just little burnt pieces. And now I'm going to go in with these 3 bead garlands. They are red, white, and blue, just in time for patriotic DIYs. Absolutely gorgeous. They're just pip berries for the most part. And so I'm just going to snip off a section that I want to use, and I do this with all 3 colors. And I'm going to kind of intertwine them in a way, just very loosely, not really too technically. I just want to make it look very natural and organic. And I'm just going to wrap it around the bottom or the base of this little house form, just to give it a little extra, you know, a little extra something. And for the top, I'm going to take these 2 ribbons. They are Floral Garden, and one is a red and white gingham, and the other one is a blue. And I'm just going to stack them on top of each other, kind of like layered, placing the blue one at the bottom and the red gingham on the top, creating a quick bow, like a bow tie bow or a shoelace bow, and snipping off the excess, making the blue one a little longer, snipping off the ends, dovetailing them all 4 of them, and then just adhering this bow to the very top of my little house, because yes, we need a little bow. Love our bows and embellishments for sure. And now I'm going to take this little tree topper flag and just adding a little dab of glue for a little added embellishment. And here's how it looks, and a closer look at the final reveal. I'm also on TikTok, and here's a QR code if you'd like to scan it and see what I've been up to over there. For DIY number 4, I'm going to begin with one of these galvanized flower pots, and I'm going to give it a coat of the Mod Podge. This one I'm not going to allow to dry, and I'm excited to use this napkin. This one is so gorgeous. So I'll take this one down to 1 ply, because this one has 2 as well. And because this planter is going to be a little tricky to place this napkin on, I'm going to take a paintbrush and some water and just easily remove this in half. Just cut it in half. And I'm going to try to do 1 full piece like this and go around, but I quickly see that that's not going to work. I do get this piece on there, and then when I realize it's not going to go on properly, then I just go ahead and get my paintbrush again with some water and remove this extra piece And now I'll go ahead and smooth out this other side. And then here I'm trying to place it right beside this piece, but I decide no, I need to center it a little bit more. So thankfully that worked just fine. Got it all centered, and then I realized the two sides needed some more napkin. So I take my paintbrush again with some more water and rip out a couple small pieces and kind of place them where there was a gap. Try to make the pattern look like it's supposed to be there. And then I go ahead and do the same thing to the other side, and I just take my paintbrush again with some water and cut out another little piece to place on there in this manner. So now this one I will do the Mod Podge on the top as a sealer, and I'm placing these little glass dishes to keep everything nice and still because this thing was rolling everywhere. So here I'm just taking some of the Mod Podge and placing it where I know it didn't have any Mod Podge, and I coat the whole thing with Mod Podge in this manner. So now here I'm realizing I needed to do a little bit of ironing because I got some wrinkles. So I just placed some parchment paper on top and using my mini easy press and went along to smooth it all out. Now this is pretty warm, and since there's Mod Podge, I have to take my time to remove the parchment paper. I don't want to pull off any of the beautiful napkin. So I'm just taking my time to remove it, allowing it to cool down. And look at that, it comes out just beautiful. Look at that, smooth as a baby's bottom. Now this section here still has wrinkles, so I just go ahead and do the whole thing. I just go ahead and place parchment paper all the way around this planter, and I go ahead and use my mini easy press and smoothen out all the wrinkles in this piece. And look at that, beautiful. Oh my goodness, look how beautiful. So now I'm going to take my lighter and I'm going to try to do two things. I'm going to try to remove the excess napkin paper and burn off the fuzzies, but I quickly see that that's not going to work very well because I think because the twine is there, the extra napkin paper was not coming off. So I just used my finger sander to remove it. And now I'm just going to take these two new jute twines from the Dollar Tree from Crafter Square, and I'm going to take a little dab of glue to kind of fuse them together, and I'm just going to add it to the base of this planter, the base where the jute twine ends, and it just adhere with a little dab of glue, place it on there, and I'm going to simultaneously twist it and adhere it to this piece, and just going all the way up. And I do cover up all the existing twine, and I just go all the way up with it in this manner until it looks like this. And now I'm just going to secure the ends to the very top where you won't even notice where the end's at. And now of course I'm going to take my lighter and I'm going to get rid of all the fuzzies on this jute twine. Even though it's pretty nice, it still has some fuzzies. So I just do that really quick until I get it like I like it. And here's how it looks, and a closer look at the final reveal. If you're on Facebook, I invite you to come join my crafting group. It's called Family and Budget Friendly Crafting World, and we are growing nicely and we have fun posting and supporting each other there. For DIY number 5 and my last DIY of this video, I'm going to take 2 packs of these new pegboards from the Dollar Tree. They measure approximately 5 by 5 each square, and I'm just going to adhere them on top of each other, well, 2 on top of each other, and I'm going to use some E6000 for added durability and some hot glue for the instant hold. And I'll create 2 sets in this manner, and I'll secure them with some of these craft clamps, set them aside to set. Now in the meantime, I'm taking 2 of these flower shaped wood pieces from the Dollar Tree, and using my silicone spatula, I'm just going to fill in these holes with some hot glue because it doesn't really matter what's filling them. I'm going to paint them anyway, and I'm going to paint them with this folk art chalk paint in the color White Adirondack. And now I'm going to go in with one of these Lazy Susan hardware. Got this from Amazon, and it'll be linked in my description box in my Amazon storefront. And I'm going to add some E6000 and a little bit of hot glue right above it. And again, for the added security and the instant hold, and I'll place it right in the center. Beautiful. And I'll do the same thing with the other flower. A little bit E6000, and some hot glue right above it. And now I'll place the flower right on top, making sure to align where the two holes were. Now that that's set, and here are my little pegboards, I'm going to put them back to back, and I'm going to take some zip ties or cable ties, and I'm going to thread these through these little holes that are on the front. And I'm just going to not tighten them up, I'm just going to place them on there on each of these little areas in this manner. Just thread it through, and I get them all done, all four. Once I get them all done, then I'll go ahead and tighten them all up and get them nice and tight, and snip off the excess with some scissors. And now I'm ready to assemble my little turntable. So here I'm just going to add some of the E6000 again, and some more hot glue like this, and then I'm going to place it in the center as best I can and allow that to set. And look at that, fantastic. So now here I decided to add some of this pearl bling just because I didn't like the way the sides looked. So I'm just going to adhere this with some glue really quick. Just add some glue and place it down, and use my silicone spatula so I don't burn my fingers, because this pearl wrap has a lot of little holes, and yeah, you can easily burn yourself. Oh my goodness. Don't ask me how I know that. Okay, so here then I'm just gonna go ahead and do the other side, the top, and I'll go take it to the other side. So the three sides. I don't do anything on the bottom, of course, it would just be too bumpy. So now here's the last piece, and snip off the excess just to give it a little bit of a embellishment, a little bit of a decor, a little bit of prettiness for the craft room. And so now I'm going to place this little shelf and some of these little hooks and brackets and things, and I'm going to use this for my Cricut tools and my chalk couture tools as well. So you'll see here, this is how it looks, and a closer look at the final reveal. And now we're at the final reveal. Let me know what you guys think. Well, I'd like to take a moment and thank Liyana and all the friends in this group for inviting me to participate in this collaboration. I had a lot of fun, and please don't forget to go to my description box, click the link to the playlist, and enjoy it. And also, it'll be pinned in my comments as well. And I also want to thank Valerie for the beautiful napkins. That was so very sweet of you to send them to me, and I had a lot of fun using them. Well, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. And if you want to see more, definitely subscribe. And until my next video, stay healthy, safe, and strong, and have a great, great day. Bye-bye.